Commander Zura Hassan stood at the viewport of Deep Space Research Station Helios, watching the strange anomaly that had appeared 3 days ago. The swirling purple vortex defied all known laws of physics, its ethereal light casting dancing shadows through the observation deck. 6 years of commanding humanity's most advanced research station hadn't prepared her for anything like this. Still no response from the probes, she asked, not turning from the view. "Negative, Commander," Lieutenant Park responded from his station. "They're just gone, like they never existed." Zara ran her fingers through her short dark hair, a habit from her early days in the Space Corps that surfaced whenever she faced a puzzle she couldn't solve. The station's sensors had detected something massive emerging from the anomaly, but whatever it was remained cloaked from their instruments. The calm of the observation deck shattered as emergency alerts blared to life. "Unauthorized entry detected in Cargo Bay 3, the station's AI announced. "Security protocols engage." Zara was moving before the announcement finished, her magnetic boots clicking against the metal floor as she sprinted toward the cargo bay. "Status report," she barked into her comm unit. "One intruder," Security Chief Rodriguez responded, his voice tight with tension. "Humanoid, but definitely not human." They're not trying to hide, Commander. They're just standing there." "Maintain distance, but do not engage." "I'm almost there." The cargo bay doors parted to reveal a scene that stopped Zora in her tracks. A tall figure stood in the center of the bay, surrounded by a ring of security officers with weapons drawn. Their body was covered in what appeared to be liquid metal armor that shifted and flowed like quicksilver, but it was their face that caught Zora's attention. Pale blue skin stretched over elegant features, with eyes that seemed to contain entire galaxies. "Commander Zora Hassan," the figure spoke, their voice carrying harmonics that made her skin tingle. "I am Theron, and I come seeking asylum." "From what?" Zora asked, noting how her security team's weapons seemed to have no effect on the alien's composure. "From those who would destroy everything you hold dear." Theron's armor rippled, revealing what appeared to be a wound in their side that leaked silver blood. "They followed me through the anomaly. They'll be here soon." Before Zora could respond, the station shook violently. Warning klaxons screamed as multiple hostile ships emerged from the vortex, their designs unlike anything in human records. "They're charging weapons," Lieutenant Park's voice crackled through the comm. Multiple targeting solutions locked on the station. Theron stepped forward, raising their hands in a gesture of peace as security officers tensed. "Commander, I carry knowledge that could save both our species. But first, you must trust me." "Why should I?" Zora demanded, even as her tactical mind calculated their odds against the unknown hostile force. "Because," Theron replied, their armor flowing away to reveal an intricate device embedded in their chest, glowing with an inner light that pulsed in time with their heartbeat. "I am not the hunter here. I am the hunted, and what I carry could change the course of galactic history." Another impact rocked the station. "Shields at 60%, the AI warned. Zora made her decision. "Security team, stand down. Theron, follow me. We need to get to the command center." As they ran through the corridors, Zora noticed how Theron moved with an almost liquid grace despite their injury. "That device in your chest," she said between breaths. "What is it?" "The key to understanding humanity's true place in the cosmos," Theron replied. "Your species is not what you believe yourselves to be. You are so much more." They reached the command center as another barrage hit the station. Through the main viewport, Zara watched as 3 crystalline ships took up attack positions, their forms seeming to bend reality around them. "The Eternal Concordat," Theron said, their voice heavy with dread. "They believe they alone should guide the galaxy's evolution. They would rather destroy your station than let me share what I know." "Then help me save my people," Zora responded, meeting those galaxy-filled eyes. "Show me what makes us worth dying for." Theron's hand brushed against hers, sending an electric shock through her system. In that moment of contact, Zara saw flashes of impossible things. ancient civilizations, hidden truths, and humanity's destiny among the stars. Together, Theron said softly, we might just rewrite the story of two species. The station shuddered again, as Zora made the choice that would change everything. Lieutenant Park, prepare for emergency protocols. We're about to show our visitors why they shouldn't underestimate humanity. The experimental shuttle's engines hummed as Zora guided it through the debris field that had once been part of Station Helios. Behind them, the crystalline ships of the Eternal Concordat pursued with relentless determination. Beside her, Theron worked with the shuttle systems, their liquid metal armor flowing like quicksilver as they interfaced with the human technology. Your evacuation protocols saved many lives, Theron said, their harmonious voice carrying a note of admiration. Few would have remained so calm in the face of such destruction. Those were my people back there, Zora responded, executing a tight maneuver around a spinning section of hull. And now they're scattered across the sector in escape pods while we play bait for your friends. Not friends, Theron corrected, their galaxy eyes dimming slightly. The Concordat believes themselves the guardians of cosmic order. They see the natural evolution of species as a threat to their control. The shuttle shuddered as a crystalline beam grazed their shields. Zora's hands danced across the controls, drawing on years of combat training. And what exactly do they think is evolving? What's so special about humanity that they'd destroy an entire research station? Instead of answering, Theron placed their hand over the device in their chest. It pulsed with increasing intensity, sending waves of iridescent energy through the shuttle's cabin. Suddenly, the ship's systems surged with power they shouldn't have possessed. What did you just do? Zora demanded, watching in amazement as new configurations appeared on her control panels. I awakened potential that was already there, Theron explained. Your technology, like your species, carries echoes of something greater, something older. The pursuing ships launched another barrage, but this time the shuttle's enhanced shields absorbed the impact with ease. Zora felt the difference in how the ship responded, as if it had transformed into something more advanced, more alive. There's a temporal anomaly forming at coordinates 7 Mark III, Theron announced. We need to reach it before they can lock onto us with their null field generators. A what forming where? Zara asked, even as she adjusted their course. And how are you reading our sensors? I'm not reading them. I'm feeling them, just as I feel the changes beginning in you. Zara wanted to demand clarification, but she noticed something strange. She could sense the shuttle systems in a way that went beyond normal pilot integration. It was as if the ship had become an extension of her consciousness. The device, she realized. It's not just technology, is it? It's changing things, changing me. It's awakening what was always meant to be, Theron replied. Humanity was seated among the stars for a purpose, Zara Hassan. Your DNA carries fragments of code left by those who came before. The precursors. The temporal anomaly appeared ahead of them, a swirling vortex of possibilities. Unlike the purple tear that had brought Theron to the station, this one shimmered with golden light that seemed to call to something deep within Zora's being. The Concordat fears what humanity might become, Theron continued. They've seen the signs, the way your species adapts and grows. They know that once the dormant potential in your genes fully awakens, their age of dominion will end. Another blast rocked the shuttle, but Zara hardly noticed. She was too focused on the strange sensations flooding through her. The ship's controls felt less like machinery and more like nerve endings. Each adjustment, each course correction, flowed from intention rather than physical movement. Why me? She asked, guiding them toward the anomaly. Out of all humanity, why show this to me? Theron's liquid metal armor rippled, revealing more of their alien features. Because you were already changing. Your years in deep space, your exposure to cosmic radiation and quantum fields, they accelerated what was dormant in your genes. When I saw you through the station's sensors, I knew you were ready. The pursuing ships launched a final desperate attack, their crystalline beams converging on the shuttle's position. But Zara didn't evade. Instead, acting on instinct she didn't understand, she reached out with her mind through the enhanced systems. The beams scattered harmlessly around them, as if reality itself had bent to her will. "That's impossible," she whispered, even as she felt the truth of what she'd done. "That word," Theron said with what might have been a smile, "will soon lose all meaning." They plunged into the temporal anomaly, just as the Concordat ships launched another barrage. Golden light engulfed them, and Zara felt reality twist in ways that should have torn the shuttle apart. But the ship held together, transformed by Theron's device and her own awakening abilities. As they emerged into another region of space, Zara saw something that stole her breath away. A massive structure floated before them, its architecture defying Euclidean geometry. It pulsed with the same golden light as the anomaly, and deep within her altered consciousness, she heard it calling. "Welcome," Theron said softly, "to the first temple of the precursors. Here, we will begin to understand what humanity was truly meant to become." Zara stared at the impossible structure, feeling it resonate with something in her transformed DNA. "And the Concordat? They'll follow us through the anomaly." "Yes," Theron agreed, their galaxy eyes reflecting the temple's light. "But by then, you'll be ready to show them exactly why they were right to fear humanity's potential." As they guided the shuttle toward the ancient structure, Zara felt the weight of species-wide destiny settling onto her shoulders. Whatever she was becoming, whatever humanity was meant to be, she knew their journey had only just begun. The interior of the precursor temple defied conventional physics. Corridors shifted and realigned themselves as Zara and Theron moved deeper into the structure, their footsteps echoing strangely in the non-Euclidean space. Golden light pulsed through crystalline veins in the walls, responding to their presence in ways that made Zara's enhanced senses tingle. "The temple is reading our genetic signatures," Theron explained, their liquid metal armor flowing like mercury in the ancient light. "It recognizes the changes beginning in your DNA." Zara flexed her hand, watching the faint golden shimmer that now seemed to dance beneath her skin. Since entering the temple, her transformation had accelerated. She could feel the structure's energy resonating with something deep within her cells, awakening abilities that shouldn't have been possible. "You still haven't explained everything," she said, turning to face her alien companion. "What exactly did the precursors encode in our genes, and why?" Before Theron could answer, the corridor ahead of them transformed. The walls flowed like water, opening into a vast chamber that seemed to contain a miniature galaxy. Stars and nebulae swirled around them, and in the center floated a holographic representation of a double helix. The precursors understood that evolution alone was not enough, Theron said, moving closer to the display. "Natural selection is too slow, too random." They sought to create species that could guide their own advancement, that could transcend the limitations of their original forms. The holographic DNA strand expanded, revealing complex patterns hidden within its structure. Zara recognized some of the sequences from her xenobiology training, but others seemed to shift and change as she watched them, defying analysis. "Humanity was their greatest success," Theron continued. "They seeded your world with genetic potential that would remain dormant until the right conditions were met. My device," they touched the pulsing mechanism in their chest, "is merely awakening what was always meant to be." A distant boom echoed through the temple, making the stellar display flicker. The Concordat, Zara realized. They'd followed us through the anomaly. "Yes," Theron agreed, their galaxy eyes dimming slightly. "But they will find this temple less welcoming than we did." The precursors left defenses. They were cut off as the chamber's energy signature suddenly changed. The golden light turned harsh, and new holograms appeared, showing multiple crystalline ships approaching the temple's outer surface. "The defenses aren't activating," Theron said, their harmonious voice tight with concern. "Something's wrong. The temple's recognition protocols are incomplete without." They stopped abruptly, turning away from Zara. "Without what?" she demanded, her combat instincts screaming that something wasn't right. "What aren't you telling me?" The chamber's light pulsed erratically as Theron seemed to wage some internal battle. Finally, they faced her again, their liquid metal armor rippling with agitation. "The device in my chest. It's not just a key to awakening human potential. It's part of me. A piece of precursor technology that my people bonded with generations ago." Understanding dawned. "You're not just a refugee seeking asylum. You're a test subject. Your people were experimenting with precursor tech, trying to force the kind of evolution that humans were meant to achieve naturally." Another explosion rocked the temple, closer this time. Theron's armor flowed like quicksilver, revealing more of their alien features. "My people were desperate. We saw the signs of humanity's dormant potential and sought to claim it for ourselves. The device was our greatest achievement, but it was killing me. Then I discovered the truth." "What truth?" Zara asked, even as she felt the temple's energy responding to her own transforming DNA. "That the device was never meant for my species. It was left as a key, meant to be found by humans who had begun to awaken naturally. Like you." Theron stepped closer, their galaxy eyes intense. "The experiments did change me, but not in the way my people intended. I gained the ability to recognize awakened humans, to serve as a bridge between what you are and what you will become." The chamber shuddered as another impact struck the temple. Warning glyphs appeared in the holographic display, showing multiple breaches in the outer layers. The Concordat was breaking through. "The temple's defenses will only activate for a fully awakened human," Theron explained quickly. "One who has accepted and embraced their transformation. I can remove the device, transfer it to you. But it could kill you," Zora finished, seeing the truth in their eyes. "Yes. Without it, the changes it began in my biology will break down. But if we don't activate the defenses, the Concordat will destroy everything. This temple, the knowledge it contains, any hope of humanity achieving what the precursors intended." Another explosion, much closer. The chamber's golden light flickered as systems began to fail. Zora looked at Theron, seeing past the alien features to the depth of conviction in those galaxy-filled eyes. In the short time they'd known each other, they'd faced death, shared revelations, and begun to forge a connection that transcended species. "There has to be another way," she said, reaching out to touch Theron's liquid metal armor. The contact sent shivers of energy through her transforming nervous system. The precursors wouldn't have left just one path forward. The chamber's holograms shifted again, responding to their physical connection. New patterns appeared in the DNA display, and Zara felt something deep within her awakened genes resonate with Theron's presence. The device, she realized, excitement building. It's not just a key. It's a bridge. You said it yourself. You were changed to help guide awakening humans. What if that's not just metaphorical? What if we can share the transformation? Understanding dawned in Theron's galaxy eyes. The device in their chest began to pulse with new energy, matching the rhythm of Zara's own transforming heartbeat. The temple's golden light swept around them, responding to the possibility they discovered. "Together then," Theron said softly, reaching for her hand. As their fingers intertwined, the device's energy flowed between them, and the temple's defenses began to awaken. The Concordat was about to learn why the precursors had chosen humanity as their heirs, and why some destinies were meant to be shared. Energy cascaded through the temple's ancient halls as Zara and Theron's shared transformation reached its peak. The device between them pulsed with impossible power, no longer simply embedded in Theron's chest, but spanning the space between them like a bridge of pure light. Golden threads of energy wove through Zora's being, merging with her awakened genes, while resonating with Theron's altered biology. "The temple," Theron gasped, their galaxy eyes wide with wonder. "It's accepting both of us. This shouldn't be possible." But Zara understood. Through their connected consciousness, she saw the truth that even the precursors hadn't anticipated. They seeded the potential for change in humanity, she said, her voice carrying new harmonics that matched Theron's own. But they didn't limit how that change could happen. The chamber's holographic displays exploded with new information, showing their combined DNA spiraling in patterns that defied conventional genetics. Human adaptability merged with alien resilience, creating something entirely new. The temple's golden light responded, its defenses awakening to protect not just humanity's potential, but the possibility of species transcending their limitations together. Another explosion rocked the temple, closer than ever. Through their enhanced senses, they felt the Concordat's ships breaching the outer layers. But now, they could also feel the temple's full power thrumming through their joined consciousness. "They're approaching the central chamber," Theron observed, their liquid metal armor flowing in patterns that matched the golden energy coursing through Zora's transforming body. "The Concordat believes they understand power, but they've never seen anything like this." Zara reached out with her newly enhanced awareness, feeling the temple's systems respond to her will. Ancient weapons platforms emerged from dimensional pockets, their technology so advanced it bordered on magical. But more than weapons, she felt something else awakening. The true purpose of the temple itself. It's not just a fortress, she realized, the knowledge flowing through their shared consciousness. It's a nexus point, a place where species could come together, share their potential, evolve beyond their original design. The Concordat feared this most of all. Theron agreed, their forms drawing closer as the device's energy continued to transform them both. Not just humanity's awakening, but the possibility that different species might find their own paths to evolution, that the boundaries they sought to maintain would dissolve. The chamber shuddered as crystalline beams pierced the temple's outer defenses. Through the holographic displays, they watched the Concordat ships take up attack positions, their weapons charged to maximum power. "Surrender the temple," a new voice echoed through the chamber, cold and imperious. "The humans' corruption must not be allowed to spread. The natural order must be preserved." Zara laughed, the sound carrying harmonics that made the temple's crystal veins resonate. Natural order. There's nothing natural about stagnation, about forcing species to remain within the boundaries you define. She felt Theron's agreement flow through their connection as they faced the chamber's entrance together. The device's energy had transformed them both now, their bodies glowing with golden light that matched the temple's power. Where their hands joined, their very atoms seemed to dance between states, neither fully human nor alien, but something gloriously new. The chamber doors burst inward as Concordat troops entered, their crystalline armor gleaming coldly. They moved with perfect precision, weapons trained on the transformed pair with deadly intent. Behind them floated a being that could only be one of their leaders, its form a perfect geometric arrangement of living crystal. "Abomination," the crystalline being declared, its voice sharp with disgust. "You dare to defile the natural progression of species." Natural progression. Theron's harmonious voice carried new strength. "You fear true evolution, the possibility that life might find its own path forward." The precursors understood this, Zara added, feeling the temple's full power flowing through their joined consciousness. They didn't just seed humanity with potential. They created places like this temple, where different species might come together and transcend their original forms. The Concordat leader's crystalline form pulsed with cold light. "Then you leave us no choice. The temple must be cleansed. All trace of this corruption must be erased." But as the Concordat troops prepared to fire, something remarkable happened. The temple's golden light swept through the chamber, and Zara felt its true power awakening through their shared transformation. This wasn't just about defending against an attack. It was about showing another way forward. "You've spent so long containing evolution," she said, raising her free hand as golden energy gathered around them. "Perhaps it's time you experienced it for yourself." The temple's power surged through them, not as a weapon, but as a catalyst for change. The device between them pulsed with blinding light, and in that moment, Zara and Theron became a bridge not just between their own species, but between all possible forms of evolution. the chamber filled with transformative energy, and the real battle for the future of life in the galaxy began. Not with weapons, but with the power to change what was possible. The Concordat was about to learn that true evolution couldn't be contained. It could only be embraced. The temple's central chamber blazed with transformative energy as reality itself seemed to bend around Zara and Theron. The device that had once been embedded in Theron's chest now existed as pure light between them, its power flowing outward in waves that carried the potential for change. The Concordat forces stood frozen, their crystalline forms beginning to resonate with frequencies they had never been meant to experience. What is this? The Concordat leader demanded, its perfect geometric form showing the first signs of transformation. Faceted surfaces began to flow like liquid crystal, rigid patterns dissolving into new possibilities. The future, Zara answered, her voice carrying harmonics that made the temple sing. Through their shared consciousness, she and Theron guided the waves of change with perfect synchronization. Not forced evolution or stagnation, but the freedom to become what we choose. The temple's golden light swept through the chamber in expanding ripples, each wave carrying the combined potential of human adaptability and alien wisdom. The Concordat troops' crystalline armor began to shift and flow, responding to long-suppressed desires for change that their rigid hierarchy had denied. "You don't understand," the leader insisted, though its voice wavered with uncertainty. "Without order, without control, species will destroy themselves. We maintain balance." Balance. Theron's liquid metal armor flowed in patterns that matched the transformative energy around them. "You confuse balance with stasis. True balance comes from growth, from change, from the courage to evolve." Through their joined consciousness, Zara and Theron shared visions of possibility with their would-be destroyers. They showed the Concordat glimpses of what the precursors had truly intended, not a galaxy of separately evolving species, but a cosmic web of potential where different forms of life could learn from each other, change together, transcend their original limitations. The Concordat leader's crystalline form continued to transform, rigid angles softening into flowing curves that caught and reflected the temple's light in new ways. But the corruption, the chaos. "Life is chaos," Zara said gently, feeling Theron's agreement flow through their connection. The precursors understood this. They didn't see humanity with potential just to create a new dominant species. They wanted to show that true evolution comes from connection, from the sharing of different perspectives and possibilities. As if in response to her words, the temple's holographic displays exploded with new information. They showed not just the genetic potential hidden in human DNA, but the myriad ways that potential could combine with other species, creating evolutionary paths that no single race could achieve alone. "Your own forms," Theron observed, watching the Concordat troops struggle with their ongoing transformation. "They were never truly crystalline, were they? You forced yourselves into rigid patterns, denied your own capacity for change out of fear." The leader's transformed face showed the first expression it had worn in millennia. Wonder. "We thought. We believed we were protecting the natural order." "The natural order is change," Zora replied, squeezing Theron's hand as the device's light pulsed between them. "Look at us, human and alien, changed not just by technology or genetics, but by the choice to face the unknown together." The chamber filled with swirling patterns of possibility as the temple responded to their shared revelation. The Concordat forces, their crystalline forms now fluid and iridescent, lowered their weapons. Through their transformed senses, Zara and Theron felt the shift in consciousness rippling outward, touching not just those present, but spreading through the quantum links that connected all Concordat ships. "The precursors left these temples," Theron explained, their galaxy eyes reflecting infinite potential, not as weapons or fortresses, but as gathering places, seeds of transformation scattered across the cosmos, waiting for species to be ready for true evolution. "And now?" the leader asked, its voice carrying new harmonics as it adapted to its transformed state. Zara smiled, feeling the truth of their shared future flowing through the connection she shared with Theron. Now we begin again. Not as separate species fighting for dominance, but as fellow travelers on the path of evolution. The temples will be open to all who seek to grow, to change, to transcend what they were. The device's light expanded one final time, merging with the temple's ancient power. The golden energy swept outward in an unstoppable wave, carrying the message of transformation to every corner of known space. Through their enhanced senses, Zara and Theron felt the responses beginning. Curiosity, hope, the first stirrings of change in countless species who had long been held in check by the Concordet's rigid order. It will not be easy, the transformed leader acknowledged, its new form catching and reflecting the temple's light in beautiful patterns. Many will resist change, fear the unknown. Change is never easy, Theron agreed, their liquid metal armor flowing in sync with Zora's golden threaded form. But it is necessary, it is right. As the temple's energy stabilized around them, Zara felt the truth of their victory. They had not just prevented destruction or protected humanity's potential. They had opened a door that could never truly be closed again, showing the galaxy that evolution was not a solitary journey, but a shared adventure. Together then, she said, looking at Theron with eyes that now held their own galaxies of possibility. Together, Theron agreed, their joined forms glowing with the combined potential of two species who had chosen to face the future as one. The temple hummed with ancient power, its purpose finally fulfilled. Around them, the transformed Concordat forces began to explore their new potential, their fear of change replaced with curiosity about what they might become. And through it all, the device's light continued to pulse between Zara and Theron, a bridge between worlds that promised not an end to evolution, but a new beginning for all species ready to embrace transformation. The future they had fought for was not one of rigid order or chaos, but of infinite possibility. And as they stood together in the temple's golden light, both knew that their own evolution, like that of the galaxy itself, had only just begun.